So Oliver here has a great question. Can you legally own a planet? Has anyone ever tried to claim Mercury? Now, some people try and sell you a star online. Total scam. Don't do it. You cannot buy a star, you cannot name a star. But what about something bigger? Like, say, a planet? Can I go there and plant my flag and say, Mars is mine now? Back off. Turns out, no. Like, very legally, no. And we have a real legal treaty that actually spells this out. It's the Outer Space Treaty of 1967. And that sounds super sci-fi, but it's real and very important. The treaty says clearly that no country is allowed to claim any part of space, including the celestial bodies within outer space, is considered, and I quote, the province of all humankind, which is very poetic and very Star Trek. But wait, this only claims that countries can't do it. What about me? Enter a man named Dennis Hope, who back in 1980 noticed that little loophole and said, hey, countries can't claim the moon, but it never said anything about individuals. So Dennis Hope literally wrote a letter to the United Nations claiming that he owned the moon. Oh, and Mars and Venus and a few other things. And then he started selling moon real estate. And he sold millions of dollars of lunar land, including to some famous people. But here's the thing. Land claims, even on Earth, are a super dubious part of the law. Most modern property law involves many layers of treaties and agreements and recognition. A complicated legal proceeding that has to have been established for decades. Even here on Earth, it's not as simple as planting a flag or writing a letter to the UN. So, of course, Dennis's claims don't hold up. And if Dennis somehow built some backyard rocket and blasted off to the moon, planted a flag there and said, this is mine, yeah, I mean, still pretty meaningless. Courts aren't going to just shrug and say, yeah, well, you touched it first, no takesies backsies. Especially because the international consensus and the spirit of the law says, hey, that's not something you can own. Sorry, Elon. And the biggest thing about legal ownership of a territory is that it requires international recognition. And this is why there are so many almost countries in the world that aren't really countries because they're not internationally recognized enough. So bottom line is no, you can't legally own a planet, at least not currently. Maybe that changes in the future with new treaties, new laws and recognitions as we expand out into the cosmos. And don't send Dennis Hope any of your money because it's like buying royal titles. You can't buy plots of land on the moon. So stay curious and remember that the moon belongs to all of us. And not Elon.